Hello, this is Dr. Harun Ilyas, and in this video I will be talking about Pedri Gonzalez's hamstring injury that he has suffered in a fixture of Europa League against Manchester United. So if you are into anatomy and mechanics of sports injuries, consider subscribing to this channel. In addition to that, I would also be talking about why Pedri has suffered hamstring injury again and again, and moreover I would also be talking about how much time that Pedri Gonzalez will require to return back onto the field. But before I move forward, let us have a look what a hamstring muscle is. A hamstring muscle is usually a group of three muscles consisting of semimembranosus, semitendinosus and biceps femoris. And these muscles are responsible for flexing our knee joint. Moreover, they extend our thigh at the hip joint, and they are also responsible for having our leg externally rotated. And if we look at the injury of Pedri Gonzalez, there are multiple reports that he has injured his rectus femoris or bicep femoris of his right thigh, and it is not the first time he has injured that muscle. And if we look at his injury status, we would realize that it is not the first time that he has injured hamstring muscle, and there are multiple times when Pedri has injured his hamstring muscle. And if you can see the stats on the side of the screen, you would see that there are three occasions when Pedri Gonzalez has injured the same muscle, and once he has injured it for 63 days. That means that he has injured it and took 63 days to recover. Then there was another incident in which he has taken 102 days to recover, and the third instance, the latest one of them all, in which he has taken 11 days to recover. And I would also be unfolding the mystery why Pedri Gonzalez keeps on injuring his hamstring muscle again and again. As I have discussed before, hamstring muscle consists of three muscle groups, and Pedri Gonzalez has injured his rectus femoris. And now I would be trying to explain the extent of Pedri Gonzalez injury. And if we look at the hamstring injury grades, we would realize there are three grades for hamstring injury. And the first one, where there are very micro tears or minute tear of the hamstring muscle group, which could easily be semitendinosus, semimembranosus or rectus femoris, which Pedri Gonzalez has injured. And the second grade, in which there is partial tearing of the hamstring muscle, and when there is partial tearing of the hamstring muscle, there is definitely some bruising under the skin. But in the case of Pedri Gonzalez, we can clearly see that there was no picture uploaded on the social sites where any kind of bruising might be seen. And the third grade, where there is a complete tearing of the two muscle fibers that attaches to each other, and that means that Pedri Gonzalez might clearly have a grade 1 injury. So the grade 1 usually requires 4 to 8 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks to recover. In the case of Pedri Gonzalez, I do think that he would be returning back onto the field after one and a half months of time on the bench. And now I would be moving on to why Pedri Gonzalez keep on injuring his hamstring muscle again and again. And as I have discussed before, there are three occasions when Pedri Gonzalez has injured his rectus femoris muscle, and the main reason for that is when a muscle tries to heal itself, a scar tissue is formed in that place where the muscle is torn, and that scar tissue is usually really less elastic and it's not so much flexible as the normal muscle. So when an athlete during the running or during the sprinting stretches the hamstring muscle, there are greater chances of hamstring muscle to be get torn at that same place where it has been torn before, because now there is less elasticity and less flexibility mobility of the hamstring muscle, and that is the main reason that Pedri Gonzalez keep on having an hamstring injury issue again and again, and Pedri Gonzalez would be staying off the field for about 1.5 months. So this is it from this video. If you are into mechanics and anatomy of sports injuries, and if you want to know when your favorite player would be returning back onto the field, consider subscribing to this channel.